I'm Mel Stewart, and this is a GMM podcast. Joining me today, 10-time Olympic medalist Caeleb Dressel, here to take on the hard-hitting questions, because he's really just in the infancy of his Olympic run in LA 2028. He's only at 3 weeks into training. He's got a whole new training regimen. We're going to dig into that, and we're going to ask those penetrating questions about, like, did he really have a 42-inch vertical leap? What is his deadlift max? Will he confess it? Will he let us know? What does he think about the enhanced games? He's got opinions. What does he think about NCAA championships and the new schedule and no B finals and automatic qualifications for conference? Caeleb answers these hard-hitting questions and more. I hope you like it. How you doing, buddy? Good to talk to you.
Hey, what's up, dude?
How's your wife? How's August, Josie?
August is great. He's at the age now where that is my best friend. One of my best friends, but he's great. He's starting to put together. His language has just been exploding. Ruckus time has been nonstop. So the bed is also known as the wrestling cage. That's been fun. He's been great. He's been thriving. Josie's finally coming out. I'd say within the past 3 weeks, it's not just a little alien baby anymore. Very smiley girl. Megan's doing great. Super mom. One of the best teammates I could ever ask for. So I don't want to put, too much out there, but I think it's important for a lot of the moms. She's going through it with some of the postpartum stuff right now. So I'm trying to do my job best I can, be a good teammate to her and prioritize her and the family. I feel like my role as a moth, a man of the house, I have coined that term. That is mine. You can use it. But my goal is just to keep everyone in my family as happy and comfortable as possible. And I'm at the bottom of the totem pole for that, which I don't mind at all. I actually very much enjoy that new role I've taken on with, 2 kids, a wife, puppy, a cat. And I'm not going to name the cows I'll name the cows and the chickens. But yeah, it's been, I take a lot of pride in that role. And I feel like I've been doing a good job as of recent, but family's doing great. I'll do anything to hear them laugh, see them smile. But yeah, I love being home.
Are you sleeping?
More than Megan. Yeah. So the 4-month sleep progression was a little bit easier with August. Josie is really not doing a whole lot of sleeping. So kind of the game plan we worked out is I'm on night duty for August, and probably 85% of the time he sleeps like a baby. But, he'll have a couple nights, especially early on when he was having separation anxiety when bringing in the new baby with Josie. But yeah, I take the night shifts with August, and I don't have boobs, so I can't really do too much at night to help out with Josie. But if there's a blowout or something, I'll zombie in there and help out with what I can. But yeah, Megan is truly a trooper, and I probably don't tell her enough, but amazing mother. Amazing wife. I really truly think this is what she was born to do. Is just be a mom. She cares for people. So yeah, I can't remember your question. Megan rules is all that's on my mind.
I was just asking about the family, but I know that I've been through this funnel, and postpartum is serious. It's a real thing. You got to be careful.
Yeah. I'm not worried about anything. It's just one of those things that you take it one day at a time, and I know she'll get through it. So I'm not worried about it. It's just, she's on my mind. Obviously I care for her, and she's my priority right now.
Well, in big news, even though she's doing the heavy lift, she's also protecting you on social media, because at one point you posted, I think it was Florida Gators forever, and the swimming internet broke. They're like, Dressel's leaving Florida. And then she had I guess you woke up 24 hours later, you came off the farm and went, what?
Yeah, no, that's right. It's actually exactly how it happened. So I want to apologize, not for hurting anyone's feelings, but I can see how that could have been taken that way. I was not thinking that at all, or how there could have been any controversy. So I posted that after I had a meeting with all the UF coaches, just, face to face, man to man, to let them know where I was, what the next steps I was gonna take. That I would be with Coach Steve, Coach Sean with Aquatic Sports Performance as a strength coach, and then Eva as a sport scientist. So those are kind of my big 3. Shantiva is the name that I've kind of combined for all of them with our group chat. Yeah, kind of a clean name. But yeah, I posted that just right after the meeting, because I think how I really want to start is I meant everything I said in that post. I will always be number one fan of that program. I would do anything to see them win a national title. I still want to be involved. I want to know the names of the freshmen. I want to know what's going on. I want to stop in for dual meets when I can. And I couldn't have asked for a better 3 years with Nesty and the whole staff. And that's what made that meeting so hard, was it was nothing. They did nothing wrong. Far from it. They went above and beyond for what I was asking of them, of being out of the water a year and coming back. And, hey, I'd like to make an Olympic team. That's not, I know there's a lot of pressure that comes, with being coached or coaching myself, just because of the results and success I've had. I know that puts pressure on all the coaches I've worked with. So that was a really tough meeting because they didn't do anything wrong. And like I said, they were exactly what I needed in 2023, getting back in the water. Nesty and the whole staff put me on an Olympic team. How patient Nesty was with me, how caring, checking in, always in conversation with my therapist. Truly, I felt like a son with how he cared for me. So all that being said, I just needed something truly different at age 29 with 2 kids, and I didn't see the college program exactly fitting that. And I've done it. I've done the UF program for 10 years and had great success. And that's why I'll always be number one fan of the program. I owe everything to that university, everything to that coaching staff, everything to the O-Dome, to the outdoor pool. I will always and forever be in debt to the University of Florida. And I just felt like I needed to put something out there. Yeah. So I guess it wasn't misinterpreted, but yeah, I wasn't leaving. I'm not leaving Florida in the sense of University of Florida. I always want to be part of it. I'm on campus all the time. I mean, my roots are here. So it was out of the question to move. My family and our home in Micanopy, I mean, that's home for me. Always will be. There's 3 cities that can claim me. It's Jacksonville, Gainesville, and Micanopy. And those are pretty much the only 3. So my greatest fear was I didn't want to burn any bridges with Nesty, Whitney, Jack, Daner, Annie, like any Kristen, any of them, because of everything that they did for me. And it wasn't a very long meeting because it wasn't necessarily a goodbye at all. And I don't think that my relationship with that whole staff is contingent on whether or not they're coaching me. And Nesty will send a text every now and then of whether it's him at the shooting range or, something cool that he ordered. And that's what I want. And that's where me and Troy are at right now, of like, Troy's my friend right now. He's just a little older than me. But yeah, I've never wanted a relationship to be contingent on whether or not I'm in the water and you're telling me what the next set is. And so that was one of my biggest fears. And then also at the end of the day, I didn't do anything wrong. This is the next steps that I want to take for my career. I love the water so much. My body's not telling me that it's done. And so what does that look like? Being out of the water for, after Paris, I don't know, a long time. And then slowly getting back in, just riding my own workouts in the weight room, in the pool. It was not a serious thing. It's not that I didn't care. It was just I was only doing fun stuff and I didn't know what I was doing. Just be, a couple sprints on the bucket. And it was good enough to get on the national team, that was definitely a plus, to get some health insurance for the family. That wasn't the only thing. That was kind of no, that actually wasn't too much of a joke. But yeah, it felt, good on myself of, I don't really know what I'm doing, but it was still, good enough. But everything I did, of Josie being born during that time, started off of just like 30 minutes, like twice a week, just blowing bubbles. I think really going down to blank slate and not just, well, this is what I've done, so let's just keep doing that. So that was really fun to kind of take on that of like just using myself, my body, and the water, and let's see how this works. But building up that relationship with the water, of truly just enjoying being in it. And I've said multiple times, if I had a superpower, I would just want to hold my breath, because man, being under the water, that's why I like deeper pools. Being under the water is such a special place. And I don't ever want to lose that relationship. And so thankful for the results from Paris to get me to a point of being able to want to rethink what do I want my future to look like again, with my family being a priority. I'm not 20 years old anymore. And yeah, it took months and months and months of everything I said about UF. It was not easy to leave, and I didn't want to. I wanted it to work out. So yeah, and here we are of just putting pieces together, making multiple phone calls. Yeah, Tom Yeager, one of them, which is kind of what kickstarted the whole thing. So thank you a lot for that. That was a great conversation. I don't even know if I filled you in on that.
He's a family guy. He made family life work as an elite, and I hope that you guys could find some connection.
Yeah, that was a fantastic call. Lezak was another big one. Multiple coaches. I pretty much texted everybody who I thought could have even a tidbit of information. So yeah, thankful for that too. Of just the swim community in general. Of more than happy to help me, and even coaches where I might be competing against some of their swimmers, and just for sake of their privacy, I don't want to name everybody it was, but you probably have some ideas. But it was just such a fun time of going to a true blank slate and me kind of being in charge of it all. And there's definitely some pressure with that. But as soon as what was the meet even called in California? Was it US Open or
championships, tier championships?
Yeah, I think right when the 50 ended, I think that was kind of my final piece of like, what do I need? And it was, first thing was strength coach. I texted Keenan Robinson and asked him, hey, who's left in the sport that you trust? Because I love Keenan. Keenan's been fantastic. So thankful for Keenan. He gave me a list of names, immediately started calling them. And then it was, I want a sports scientist. I want to get some numbers under my belt. I want to see how to maximize what my genetics are moving forward. And then Coach Steve was the final piece. And so I've been with him for 3 weeks now, and it has been truly, truly fun. And then also, I mean, this like stinks to say, but I need more attention, priority. Again, age 29. It stinks to say that because I always consider myself low maintenance, and I still am in some regard. But yeah, I think putting the team together and just watching all them communicate between Sean and Eva and Steve has been a true dream come true. And then also for myself, being the one to put it together, it's like, all right, just taking some, I'm the master of my, what is that good quote? Captain of my soul, I'm a captain of my soul, master of my fate. Jeez, that one was in the recess of my mind. Yeah, so it was fun to take initiative. I talked to my dad too of how scary was it when you opened your own business, being a veterinarian, and like I'm telling you, it wasn't just swim related. It was anyone who had any bit of information, and it was terrifying of like, there's a lot of unknowns. And even right now, everything I'm doing is new. But it's exciting. I'm not ready to be done. I love the water too much. And kind of the biggest thing after Paris was I don't want to let my demons in the sport override how much I love the sport and that be the reason that I end my career early. I don't think that's fair to swimming, the sport in general, and I don't think it's fair to myself. I love it too much to let the bad parts just take control. So still working on getting a handle of the bad parts, the baggage, but the water's always been kind to me. It always will be, and I don't ever want that to change. So yeah, I mean, I'm still putting in a lot of work, but right now it's new, it's fun. I'm sure there'll be some hiccups along the way, but I'm game for it. And right now I'm very, very excited for the future.
For anybody that's dropping in and they might be wondering where you're at in this conversation, we can go back to the beginning, and you had a lot of reservations about how to move forward. And you shared that, look, my priorities are different, and your priorities were, I want to be a great husband. I want to be a great father. And if swimming fits that lifestyle, then I can continue to swim. And then you went on a journey. And the interesting thing is that stuck with me. I was like, what a good dude. And then I talked to Cam McEvoy, Kyle Chalmers. They were referencing you and Adam Peaty. And it seems like all of these iconic stars, these highly successful icons in the sport, were all going through the same thing. They were doing something similar.
Yeah, Cam and Kyle, I both reached out to them. Yeah, there's multiple things I love about swimming, but I feel like you don't get that community in a lot of other sports. And people, they might throw a fit because there's not enough drama or controversy in swimming, but I don't know if you can have both that much of a close-knit family and then also, have the drama. I don't know. Maybe there's a way where I can fake it, or maybe maybe me and Kyle can fight each other on deck or something. That might be fun. Not Kyle. Actually, now that I said not Kyle. I mean, not Kyle, but
He's a footballer.
yeah, I would get tossed by Kyle. So somebody else, somebody smaller than Kyle. But yeah, I mean, just extremely thankful for everybody, just the information that they had, and not withholding information either. Like, just truly willing to help me out. And that was, I mean, months and months and months of that. And I still have that. Nathan was another one.
Adrian.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's funny because Kyle, I'm not sure if he's had his baby yet. Cam had his baby right after Worlds, I think. So yeah, we're all trying to figure it out. And if they were to text me right now, I would give them what little pointers I feel like I have on how to balance it. But it's something that I'm trying to figure out, because that is the priority. And that wasn't the case before kids with Megan, and that came at a cost. It was a strain on our marriage. I did not have balance. I was married to swimming. And that's not fair to Megan, but there is a way, and it takes time and effort and adaptability to find out what does that balance look like. And it could change in 3 weeks. I've been doing my schedule here with Steve, and if Megan were to come to me and said, this is not working, then we go back to the drawing board. This is no longer me just in a house with my two best friends leading up to Tokyo. So there's certainly some challenges with it. And obviously I wouldn't change anything. And there's a way to do it where I can still be competitive and I can still swim fast. And this might end up being an even better idea, because now when I get home, it's that much sweeter, getting through the door and hearing that. I mean, I absolutely live for that. But like I said, there's some sacrifices that come with that. And it's 100% worth doing for my family, because their happiness and how comfortable they are in life is way above my happiness and my comfort level. I'm happy and I'm comfortable, but theirs goes way, way above mine.
Yeah, I talked to Cam McEvoy, and that was a mind-blowing conversation, but you were always hovering in the back of my mind when I was wrapping my head around how little he swims and how precise his training is. Because I kept thinking to myself, this guy was doing the 200 IM, he was doing these other events, and then suddenly he's just focused on the 50. But it was all wrapped in with after the Olympics, yeah, I won, and I didn't really chase endorsements. I stayed at home. I wanted to be a family guy. And I also wanted to think through what I was going to do in the future. And this
is after, what Olympics is this after?
This is after, we talked probably, 6 weeks ago. And he was giving me a download since Paris. And then I was trying to understand his training. But in the back of my head, I was thinking, wait a minute, you're doing practice. Some practices might be 200 meters. And I was thinking Dressel, unshaven, was doing crazy in a banana boat, in a Speedo, was doing crazy 400 IMs. You went a 156 200 meter butterfly in season, but you're also the nitro guy doing the 50s. And I was like, what does Dressel's life look like when he dials it in? And are you dialing it in? And is that the plan going forward?
I'm not going to be swimming any 200 IMs if that's kind of what you're asking.
Are you swimming the mile?
No, I'm not. I will not be swimming the mile. I mean, really, the only 200 I think in question would be 200 freestyle. No, I don't want to. And I think especially with where the sport has gone, there's a lot more specialization. I mean, you have guys swimming that only swim 100 free that don't swim 50 free. And so I think with where the sport's going, I feel like you do need more precise type of training. So no, I'm not. The 200s are out as of right now. It'll be 100 fly, 50 fly, 50 free, and then 100 free. And so my normal 4, and I think Cam's nailed it. I think he's one of the smartest swimmers out there. One of the swimmers who thinks. I think Nathan was another good example of this. And I've said the prettiest 100 free before Pans, the prettiest 100 free I've ever seen was Cam's. The 47.0 at the Aussie trials. And there's a reason when you see a swim like that, it's not just a fluke, and how consistent Nathan was, because these guys think. And I think the sport is evolving in that direction. And with that, I think comes a lot more specialization. So, I named 4 events. They're on the sprint side of things, but 100 fly is a lot different than 50 fly. 50 free is very different than 100 free. So yeah, there will be. How did you word it? What did you call that? Dialing it in. There'll be a bit more dialing in, I guess you can say.
I was a 200 butterfly. There's a lot of people who are 200, 400, and I guess the question is, can you train for a 50 fly, 50 free? To me, it feels, I think the 50 fly, 50 free is a completely different animal than the 100 free and 100 fly.
100%.
Can you do both? Would you be better off with your lifestyle just focusing on the 50s, since now we have 50s a stroke at the Olympics?
So that's something where, conversations in my head, conversation with Steve, I think that's why I wanted to get a team around myself, because if the numbers with Eva and Sean is seeing something in the weight room where, no, you need to get stronger for a 50, it doesn't correlate. You can't carry that much muscle mass for 100. And Steve is like, it's too much different training. Then we drop the hundreds. I want to be as adaptable as I can during this process. But if there is a way to get both without having the 50 or the hundreds suffer, then I do want to do that. I love swimming 100 fly. I don't like 100 free. So who knows? There might, I might have a year with Shantiva under my belt, and we say, there's not a way with how the sport is in modern times to be able to do those 4 events. They're too different. It just needs to be 50 fly or 50 free. And if I was going to have to choose, two over the other, it would be the 50s. Well, I don't know. Maybe it would be 100 fly, 50 free. Maybe it would be 50 fly, 50 free. But I think 100 free is at the bottom of the list for myself. I think in order of confidence, I think it would go 100 fly first. By 50 fly, 50 free would be tied, and then 100 free would be at the bottom. But, that's why I wanted to team back up with Steve, get that language with the water back under my belt, because I haven't had it. The water hasn't made as much sense, especially for 100 free. 100 fly, I felt very comfortable doing, but that's my naughty, nasty event is 100 free. And I think there's a lot more anxiety and pressure that comes with 100 free, because that's kind of what kickstarted my career in a way, was 100 free. I was better at 100 free than 50 free for a good period of time. And then over time, it kind of changed, and then fly came out of nowhere. And next thing you know, I'm a flyer. So yeah, I want to be adaptable, and we could have an interview in 2 weeks and I tell you something completely different. And it's also hard to say, I've been working with, Sean, I've actually been on his program for, I think, about 12 weeks now. And those were the photos, videos of when I was in California. I went to meet him in person, get some baseline numbers, checking shoulder mobility, shoulder flexibility, all things that happen when you get old. My numbers were actually pretty good. But yeah, that's where that was those videos. And then MA stopped by before Golden Goggles of a place to train. So it was just, complete coincidence that he was there for one of the morning practices, which was great. I got to catch back up with him, go off the blocks with him a couple times. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. So I'm open to anything. I just want to swim. I want to swim fast, and I want to compete. So I hope it's those 4 events. Not that I hope. As of right now, that's the plan. But if we need to drop stuff, that's okay. And 4 years from now, if I'm just swimming 50 fly or just 50 free, so be it. But to answer your question, I know it's a roundabout way. I don't know. Time will tell. Maybe there is a way to do it, and maybe there's not with how the sport has progressed. Maybe there's no way. Nope, 100 free is way too different than 50 free. 100 fly is way too different than 50 free. I said it right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I watched the testing. I watched the video. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of data, but it was kind of cool watching that video. Just can you help people understand what you were testing, what the results were?
Oh, is there a video?
There's a video. Yeah, it's highlights. It's long. It's good. But you, Sancho Condarelli, a lot of elites testing with the pressing on the. Oh,
did he? Yeah, did he post that?
He did. I'll send you a link, and I'll ask him if we can use some of the B-roll for this podcast so people can roll over it. But you were doing, so there was jumps. There was like, it looked like a deadlift. It wasn't a deadlift.
Yeah. If he posted that, I didn't want to, just if that's like one of Sean's secrets or something like that. But I think he's one of those guys who I think wants to share and shares a lot. So yeah, one of the first tests we did was the force plate measurements. So he had one of them was laying on my belly, put your left arm out on a force plate and it would measure, how many, I think they used newtons. I have no idea what a newton is. And then same thing with the right arm, just to see, how strong are you utilizing all those muscles pushing down. I can't quite remember my numbers. Again, this is why I wanted to be surrounded by a team so I can get in the water. You tell me what to do. I'm a good listener. I think that's pretty much been my whole career of why I've found success. I've surrounded myself with good coaches and good people. And I'm a good listener. I just do what I'm told. It doesn't hurt to have, good genes from mom and pops there. But yeah, I can't remember exactly what my numbers were. Did a lot of what are my shoulder mobility numbers. Those were pretty good, but I'm still going in to get body work once a week with my girl. I've been seeing them since 2019, Carlos and Dita. So yeah, kind of having Sean and Dita talk of if there is a huge limitation, then I can bring that information to Dita. So I have a big group chat of everyone amongst the team talking in communication to where they specialize in one thing, you can transfer to the next thing. The other main testing was, this one's a little hard to explain, but same force plates, and you'd stand on them and then kind of like you're doing a deadlift, but it was fixed in place. And so you'd pull as hard as you can, and all that pressure, all the newtons, again, whatever Newton is, that's going into the force plates. And so that's basically your strength. That's your strength number. I'm simplifying this as best I can. And then you'd hop off that, and then you stand on the force plates and just do hands on hips, a jump. And so that would be your power measurement. So one of the things we learned from Sean, and this guy plugs into a whole algorithm. One of the things I learned was my strength to power ratio is very skewed. So believe it or not, I need more power. I need to be able to jump. I need to be able to jump a little higher with what my strength number is showing me. So it's been very fascinating, not overwhelming. It's been very fascinating to gather all this information of, the shoulder mobility numbers, the force plate numbers. Another thing was how much force for internal, external rotation on your numbers. I did have my left shoulder was pretty wonky on one of those. So I took that information to Dita. So a lot of moving parts, but all of them within the inner circle. They're all talking amongst each other, which is what my dream was. I did not want this to be one person gets the reins and they have all the say. So yeah, it's been a true dream come true of how it's just kind of all come together. But yeah, I haven't really gotten numbers like that. So yeah, I gotta get my power up. That's the immediate priority for me and Sean at the moment.
I'm glad I'm catching. I feel like this is really the first 3 weeks of your drive toward LA 2028. We're in the infancy right now. We're just setting it down. And at the same time, you went to Sean, and we're going to look up what newtons are. I think I know what newtons are, but it's
let's get out of AI. What the hell is a newton?
And while you're picking up newtons, you're establishing a baseline with him.
Unit of force. This is going to make it so much more confusing. 1 Newton is the amount of force needed to make a 1 kilogram object accelerate at 1 meter per second. It's a bunch of junk, dude. We don't need to know what a Newton is.
It's fantastic information. Actually, I love it.
Dude, I've been on the water, like boating, since I was a kid. I don't know what the difference between a knot and miles per hour is. Why do we have knots? There's no need. It's just miles per hour. We don't need a Newton. There's a bunch of junk, dude. That just made me so mad. I feel so dumb right now. Oh, yeah. All right, back to it, dude.
Wrong podcast.
Yeah.
You establish a baseline with Sean. Sean's your guy. He's your go-to guy. I like seeing all these elites come together and do this. There was video. But I often think, you're famous for popping up behind the blocks, knees to chest, and showing off that vertical leap. And allegedly, you had like a 42-inch vertical leap years ago. I don't know who was sharing that information, but that leaked out. We actually put it in the magazine, so we memorialized it. Whether it's true or not, we put it in print.
Okay, so I'll go on the record because I think I've just been dodging this question. It's not 42. I think it got so... I feel like because then it just kept going up an inch per year. My actual vert is 40. I've hit 40. And that was on, I don't like the electric pad. And that's from a standstill, but I bought one for I lift at home. I've got a gym in my pole barn. It's a very elite gym, actually. We're very proud of the gym I built. And that's one thing I told Sean because all of my training is remote. I said, whatever I need, tell me, and I'm getting the business credit card out. And he, there really wasn't too much stuff I was missing. But one thing that I just bought because I wanted to have it for fun was Vertec, which is like the one with the sticks that they use at the combine. So yeah, I hit 40, or maybe it was 39 and a half. Just call it 40.
We're rounding it up 40, but here's the thing. With this ruling now, at that level, you're still top 1% in the NBA.
Is it?
It is, and I'll double check that before we go live on this podcast, but I'm pretty sure that's top 1% because there's a whole bunch of data set in terms, because I looked it up. and like the bell curve goes up where most of them are, and it's in the lower 30s. So it's,
well, yeah, but I mean, if you're 9 feet tall, it's probably pretty hard to get off the. I heard John Morant. I've heard he has like a 45 or something. It might be like 50, dude. I don't know, something silly.
It's not that high.
But yeah, that was one thing when I was doing my own write my own lift program. I PR'd in pretty much cleans, snatches, deadlift, squat. I PR'd in everything. And one of the biggest things I realized when I got to the end of season in California was this I'm so stronger than I've ever been. And it's not translating into the water. And so it's very validating and encouraging of, again, going to blank slate, of picking apart everything, constantly thinking about this stuff, of what I'm feeling is showing up in the numbers as well. And so it was extremely validating of like, all right, maybe I do know my body pretty well. Maybe I have a little bit of an idea of what I'm doing here. Just a little. But yeah, that was something very encouraging with Sean. And I told him that on the first interview, whatever you want to call it. Well, I was like, look, I really, I'd put money. I bet the house that strength is not an issue for me here. And then sure enough, going and doing all our testing, that's exactly what came out. There's a imbalance of getting stronger is not what the focus needs to be. He doesn't need to get me to PR necessarily on all these heavy exercises. So what Sean likes to call it is not necessarily strength and conditioning, but strength and mobility. But we've renamed my program to power and mobility. So a lot more, full body movements. He calls it gymnastics. And I actually think in high school, I had this built in without even realizing it, because I took 2 gym classes senior year in high school so I could play volleyball. So I was playing volleyball for like an hour and a half every day. And then some of our dry land at bowls was, Frisbee Fridays. So I think there was built in, I need to be able to be an athlete. And also I don't want anything that I say now to make it sound like I was not doing that at UF, or that, Tracy in the weight room, caused this imbalance. I don't want it to be taken like that at all. This is where I'm at right now, and things that we have found out. Nobody is at fault. I just want to be clear on that, and I don't want to accidentally disrespect anybody. So yeah, it's been exciting getting to be able to be an athlete in the weight room and not just chase PRs, because it wasn't translating for myself. And this really, reared its head when I was on my own and got to be able to see that of like, look, I just PR'd in everything. I'm really strong and I'm getting in the water and I don't feel strong.
Something that Cam told me he did was he lifted for 5 months. He was talking about the block, and I was like, wait a minute, you lifted for 5 months? So he just pushed power and strength for a 5-month block. And then he did another block where he was trying to translate that power into the pool. I thought that was fascinating. But for anybody out there and it sounds like you've been doing this, you tricked out your gym, you've got everything you need, your power is on point. So do you mind sharing a little bit, like what the most common lift might be? A deadlift? What's power for you? What does a deadlift look like for an elite swimmer at 29?
I get a lot of variety from Sean. So it's like, honestly, I'm not trying to dodge the question. There's so many things that we do to where it's not tied to 1 or 2 or even 3 exercises. Every day is completely different. Every week is completely different. And every cycle, like obviously within the cycle, you'll follow some of the same parameters, but sets and reps are always changing. So my biggest thing for Sean is I need to be leashed. So I'm in the mindset of more is better and heavier is better. So we have a box that measures meters per second, and he won't write the weights in. He will say lift as heavy as you can for, snatch, keeping it faster than 1.2 meters per second, or for clean 1.0 meters per second. So this cycle, I think Mondays, it's about an hour of mobility work, to be honest. Keeping the shoulders healthy, making sure, the whole system is, good and ready to go. Not just for the cleans or the snatches, but for swimming. So it's about an hour of that. And then Mondays we'll get into doing some power cleans on the Vitruve. I forget the name, but we'll just call it the meters per second box. And so I get leashed in that regard, because I told him, look, I'm aware of this flaw instead of chasing numbers, because that's the mindset that I I grew into. That was all from myself of heavier is better. And that may have worked, freshman, sophomore, junior year when I did need to get stronger, but I'm not at that point anymore. So yeah, like this cycle is power clean on Monday, snatch from the blocks on Wednesday. And then Friday is honestly a good amount of pull-ups, trunk work, jumps. So there's not really like a heavy lift, if you want to call it, on Friday. But yeah, those are kind of the two big ones for this cycle.
But outside of his program, you were lifting heavy and you were just lifting for weight.
Oh, when it was just me in the gym? Oh yeah, dude. I was an absolute meathead. I loved it though. It was so much fun.
I was asking the vertical leap question to see if you tell me what you deadlift, because I know what I deadlift. I'm wondering what you deadlift.
I've only done it on trap bar, so I know trap bar is easier. But
I only do trap bars. I call it the old man bar.
What do you think? What do you think I hit? I hate saying my numbers because
I'm gonna tell you. I deadlift.
Yeah, you go first because
I'm old. I'm old. I deadlift 320.
Oh, it's good.
So is it good? You feel better about yourself now?
Well, yeah, but I hit 610.
You deadlift 610?
Yeah.
The next time I talk to you, my deadlift is going to be nearing 500.
Oh, this is funny. This is how close we've got. I have been so secretive about like numbers and stuff.
This is embarrassing. When I do it 5 times.
Oh no! I'm like, I build up. That's one rep max with a belt, barefoot with a belt. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna max deadlift with a belt, and then I'm gonna send you. I'll text you when I.
You've hit 320 for 5 reps.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you can hit 500.
I don't. When you get old, you get scared. Because here's the thing: if you get injured and you're older, it knocks you out of training for a long time.
I'm gonna talk you into hurting yourself, dude. That's my goal on this area of this podcast is to get you hurt. I'm gonna get in your head. It's just do it.
Well, wait a second, just so everybody, in case anybody missed it. So you're 6'10" with a belt. That's one lift. That's impressive. That's a lot of power. That's great. Good for you. Congrats.
It's a lot of strength, not a whole lot of power.
Oh, that's right. We're channeling Sean now.
Yeah. I want to get my power numbers up. So moving the bar quickly, moving it fast, being an athlete. I got to get my twitch. I got to get my twitch back. I got those genes shine through, baby. That's what we're working on.
You look in you want your snap. You want snap.
I want my snap back. I want my swire back. I want my snap back. That's it. Sean's here for it.
And aside that, there's a couple of big takeaways that we can just recap so far. And it's like the deadlift. Vertical. We'll call it 40 inches. We like it. Deadlift 6'10", Caeleb Dressel 6'10" deadlift. And
I get so uncomfortable sharing numbers because it feels arrogant and I don't like it.
And really, you basically played, floated, lifted heavy, lived your life. And we're really into the first 3 weeks. Your quad on the run up to LA 2028, you're going to do this and you're going to make it work with your lifestyle. And we are just now talking. This is chapter. We just cracked the page on chapter 1. You're just starting out. Yeah,
this is the intro. What do you call? What is it? What's like at the beginning of a book that nobody reads?
The preface.
Thank you. There's a lot of stuff in here where it's so obvious I didn't graduate. What's a Newton? Why are we using knots? And what's the beginning of
you just revealed this? So you haven't finished your undergrad yet? You got to finish your undergrad.
I know, dude. This is a bad look. And now look, my nipple just popped out, and you're looking at a t-shirt that I cut myself. The eBay I bought, the jacket I bought from eBay. I'm doing fine, guys. Trust me.
Wait a second. I just like the mustache with the shirt that you cut.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, tell me you're a Florida farmer without telling me you're a Florida farmer.
I know. I was like, well, no one's going to know that I'm wearing a tank top that I cut myself because I'm wearing the jacket. But now I'm realizing with the mustache and the jacket, I'm not homeless, guys. Everything's fine. I'm out here thriving. This is the best version of myself, everybody.
I'm just going to say this. If I could deadlift 6'10", I'd put on a t-shirt.
Dude, I swear if this is the title, I'm going to be so pissed. I'm going to be so pissed.
I've been not making this a title. I'm thinking this is a title. The title's
the vert question was fair because that one I have been dodging that one because I truly didn't know. I genuinely forgot the number. And then I didn't know what it was until I had the Vertex set up and I didn't cheat it. I did the full arm stretched out. because I wanted to know what's my actual number. But I would do that every lift. I test it every day, and it was a great indicator of how is the system doing that day. Because I remember before I went to the Fort Lauderdale meet, I was like just getting over sickness, and I only hit like 35. And then coming back from the meet, I think I sprung back to like 37, 38. So it was a really good indicator of how tired am I actually doing, because gauging off of what my vert was that day and then getting to the pool, I got like a really good read. So say I was, 36 or 37, I could kind of tell what a 36, 37 would feel like in the water. And then the days that I was, hitting 38, 39, 39 and a half, that's when I would feel pretty good in the water. So that was interesting. I got that, I got that from Coach James Gibson, actually. I talked to him on the phone. And is Flo, do we know if Manitou is retired? Is there any news on that? This is not me speculating or something.
Put that. I mean, so everybody understands out there. Used to be athletes would say, "Hey, I'm retired," or "I'm not retired," but
okay,
and it was pretty definitive. But now in this modern era, a lot of athletes won't say if they're retired. They'll kind of float around because they're under contract, and if they state that they're retired, that contract it triggers, so you have to be very careful, specifically in the media. So the straight answer, the honest answer between you don't know, and the answer is I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I could ask around, but
wait. Well, here's where I was going with this. It doesn't matter because it was because James leading up to Paris was coaching Flo and Ben. Ben is for sure done. So
is that what you're asking? So we haven't got to that topic yet. Let's.
Oh wait, no. What I was saying was James was saying that Ben would test his vert every day as well. Okay. Every day in the weight room. And I didn't want to just give out, one of Flo's secrets, but it was Ben who was doing that. But Ben's done now, so I don't really care too much. But yeah, I kind of, took that little tidbit of when I was training by myself, and yeah, I was like, well, I like jumping, but it turned into a really, really good indicator. So
I want to ask you a couple of topics. I want to ask you about NC2As and the format change. I want to ask you about enhanced games because it's been a big topic. But I do want to understand training wise, just so people know where you're at and how it's different. I know you were doing a lot of work at the University of Florida. You were doing heavy yardage, and this has got to be different. Is there a way to categorize it and say, hey, I was at Florida doing, X per day or week, and now it's down to it's focused and it's this much smaller?
Yeah, I'll try. I just out of respect, if I was the one, I'll tell you what I did when I was training by myself, but out of respect for the coaches at UF and whatnot, I don't want to, give exactly what I was doing every practice, if they want to keep those cards closer to their chest. But I think what I'd feel comfortable sharing, I think the Nesty and the boys and girls would be okay with, is Monday was kind of our aerobic type days. Monday morning, Monday afternoon. Tuesday morning would be power. And then Tuesday night would be fast. Wednesday would be recovery. Thursday morning would be power. Thursday afternoon would be fast. Friday would be IM. And Saturday could be fast, could be, just swimming it out. And then I would lift Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then dryland would be Tuesday, Thursday before afternoon practice. And the tentative schedule that we have now with the team is I'm only doing singles at the moment, and it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So 4 times a week. And I say tentative because that can change if we need to add in, because right now it's, me and Steve finding out our language again. He's got, I've said this, I think Steve is one of the best one-on-one coaches in the world, especially with technique. So if we need to add in, I probably wouldn't make any change until after US Open, see where this format gets us. And if we need to throw in a Wednesday, if we need to throw in a Saturday, but kind of what do I want to call this? My must-haves were only singles. And that was pretty much it. But I don't think I need to be doing doubles. And Eva has also echoed that. Chalmers has been huge in that. Cam as well. I do think what Cam is doing is huge for the sport. I'm glad he's spearheading that. But I think if I were to go and do exactly what Cam is doing, I don't think it works for me, to be honest. It is very specific for Cam, and he has gotten such good results from that. So I like stepping up to the blocks, having a little bit of yardage under my belt, because that is what I did at UF. I would say is more than above average. And so I like swimming. I like the muscle memory side of things. And I think I need that. That's what we did at Bowls. That's what I did during college. That's what I did as a pro. That's what I did under Nesty. So I don't just want to completely throw out everything because it did get me to a certain point, but it is much more backed off and much more specific because I am the only one. I'm the only one in the water with Steve and the whole team I've built. Like I am the priority amongst that team. And I know Sean has other, athletes in the weight room and in the water, but my program is specific to me that he's writing. My numbers that I get from Eva are specific to me. So it is much more backed off. And I don't even really know. Like, I guess you could call it, with Steve, I'm not even trying to dodge this. It's always drills and a mix of power pretty much, every day. We haven't done anything like all out quite yet. I'm not ready for it. Technically, I'm not ready to do that. He wants to really establish the muscle memory right now, what our language is, and just getting that down pat. So it's been a lot of slow swimming, some power stuff, but nothing where I'm just ripping all out at all.
It's I don't want to say it's not Kyle Chalmers. This is bespoke Caeleb Dressel specific to you, but it sounds like in terms of the workload, you guys are following a similar path in talking to him.
Yeah. Cause I think the only reason I know this is Nicole, my therapist, actually sent me a video. I think it was an interview with you. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's 5 times a week, like doesn't go over 3K and 5 times a week singles, 5 times a week that go over 3K. So with Steve, what we've been doing right now, we've been hitting around, 4,500 to 5K, but it's been a lot of drill work, but Steve's not even really looking at the numbers. And again, once we get that established and I have the muscle memory and I, figuring out how to swim pretty again, that might drop to 4K. It might drop to 3, it probably won't drop to 2. But yeah, I again, this whole process, I don't have anything that's set in stone because we could have an interview in 4 weeks and it's, I'm swimming 5 days a week now, or still swimming 4 days a week, but now we're down to 3K. I don't want to just say this is the plan leading up to LA. And I think Steve is very aware of that as well. I think he's talking amongst everyone within the team. And then after US Open, we'll have Eva come down because I'm getting in pretty good shape. I get in shape quick. I was always one of the first people on the team to get back into my groove. It takes me about like a month and a half to where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in good shape. So again, it's only been 2.5, but from my first practice to where I'm at now, I can already feel it starting to work in my body. And I know it's usually about 3 weeks of like, good God, I'm hurting. And then usually by that week 4, week 5, my body's getting used to it. So I can already start to feel that turnaround of my body getting used to the demands and it's starting to callus up. I think that's the best way to put it. But yeah, it's different. It is a true different, and I've never had a shift like this, but it was worth doing for what I want my family life to look like. And I owe it to the sport. And I love doing it too much. I don't want to be done at age 28. I would love to see the sport, and this is all credit to Cam, where we have names that go on into their 30s. I don't think there's a reason for a sport where we don't even have to deal with gravity to where people have to be done when they're 24, 25. I think it would be amazing for the sport if you have names like, Blake, Roney, Ryan Held. I was on so many teams with them. I think they've both announced that they are retired. Okay. If not, cut that. Yeah. Like I think, and not
99% sure, but I'll check.
Yeah. And this is no respect to them. I know Ryan's married and Blake could have simply just been done with it. But I think that'd be so good for the sport if you have guys into 32, 34, because track and field has that. You have some of the elite sprinters are older. And
it's the APA, the Athlete Partnership Agreement's been the same since 2010. It hasn't gone up.
What?
The Athlete Partnership Agreement, the financial comp to athletes has been the same since 2010. It's never gone up.
Well, I'm steaming mad. Let me try to play it cool on that. So I know you wanted to ask about enhanced games. So I keep an open mind about everything. This is one of those things where I do think it will fizzle out, but I feel like and I know there's been a lot of like, if you go to their Instagram page, whatever, like the more attention they get, the bigger they grow. So I understand like their page, putting this stuff out fastest in the world. But technically they're doped up. I think the bigger issue at hand is you have people willing to sacrifice their whole reputation, their whole swim career, because they weren't getting paid enough within the sport. This is one of the most popular sports in the entire world. And you have, whether it's people at USA Swimming, whether it's people at WADA, if they just say, if you break a world record, here's $1 million, I don't think you'd have nearly as many people going over or willing to do the enhanced games. Or if you make a top 8 at the Olympics, you get more money. The issue is quality of life. So if Ben, I have so much respect for Ben. Like, he's been great. I've been competing with him since 2017. I think his biggest thing from what I saw was it's about the money. It's not like he wants to do this. It's not like he wants to take drugs, but that's such an enticing thing for a sport where you can't live off of being top. I mean, Ben was top 3 in the world consistently. So it's like, it takes not even one gold medal, multiple consistency to make a living in this sport. So that should be the bigger issue at hand. It's not what enhanced games are doing. They can do whatever they want. People can sign up for it. It's that people are willing to sacrifice their whole reputation of what they've built up in the sport because they couldn't have a comfortable life, whether it's their governing body or it is, I said WADA, World Aquatics. Yeah, like you should have a comfortable life as you're consistently top 3 in the world. And so that's such a good example with Ben and even Christian. I think those are the only 2. Well, the Australian missile baby, he did it too. But yeah, that's where I stand with it. Like, I mean, I'm never going to do it, but I mean, it's a cool concept, I guess. I don't want to call it cool, but like, well, let's see how fast these guys can really swim. It's more funny to me, but the bigger thing at hand is I feel like World Aquatics in USA Swimming and all the governing bodies should see the bigger picture here and be like, ooh, people are willing to do this. That's the bigger problem.
I have a lot of compassion when I see names come up. A lot of people are very, very judgmental, and my response is the soft underbelly that Enhanced Games is going after is that they are sharing more. They're compensating athletes at a level that is far more fair for someone with that type of expertise and stature. There is a business component in this. They're selling their protocols, the enhanced, protocol for target market like me, middle-aged people. So
what do you mean by dumb that down?
They're selling, the target market. If for anybody who's been in conversation with them or knows the market or knows what's going on, they're selling this optimized life and health. And the target market is older people.
How are they bridging the gap between doping and swimming fast to optimize life? That seems like
these are the best athletes in the world, and they're using different protocols. They're testing different protocols for different athletes.
You say protocols, you mean drugs?
Yes, drugs. Yeah.
Okay.
Drugs.
They're selling.
It's everything.
So, whoa. Okay, I didn't know that was their bigger picture. I'm okay with.
And I should say this: just because someone's participating in enhanced games doesn't mean that they're going to dope. It means they're participating in the enhanced games. They will disclose if they are doping or doing the protocol and what that is, and they're sharing that information. But that's the reason why World Aquatics and USA Swimming got into their own lawsuit, because they said you can't participate in enhanced games. You can't, if you participate in enhanced game, you can't participate with us. And
that's the same thing with ISL though. They can't.
So they did the same thing, and you can't do that. But the enhanced games, it's a part of their mission is that, hey, you can participate. You don't have to dope. You can participate.
I think I did. You still get to wear the rubber suit, yeah?
And you can still wear the rubber suit and you can participate. This is my opinion. I think that it's well funded enough. It's funded by Peter Thiel. It's funded by it's either private equity or venture capital that Donald Trump Jr. is a part of. I think it's 1776. I have to double check on that, but it's well financed. If they can go 5 to 7 years, I think it becomes a thing. And I do think they're going to encourage athletes who aren't doping to participate and be super suited.
So their big thing is not like they're necessarily driving, like, let's see how fast these guys can really swim. It's more on the health side of things. Is that kind of?
It's a part of it. Enhanced games is spectacle. It is.
It's entertainment.
It's the spectacle. It's the wow.
And it does do that. Like, that's the thing. That's why I want to keep an open mind. Well, I'm not going to do it. Well, shoot. If you're telling me if I get to wear a rubber suit, it goes from a 50 and I get $1 million, maybe let me slow down for a second. But that's the thing. I don't get if these guys are doing that. I'm assuming, World Aquatics has got a lot of money. There's got to be a way for some of this to cross over, or they need to take notes from what Enhanced Games are doing. As wild as that sounds coming from me, that's the bigger problem. But yeah, I'm not going to do it. I said that as a joke. And then I'm like, well, $1 million.
There's an opportunity to learn here, and and governing bodies cannot act unilaterally in terms of a monopolistic manner. If someone else enters the marketplace, you can participate, and if you participate clean, then the legal argument is that they can't say you can't swim USA Swimming or swim World Aquatics.
Yeah, that was the whole thing with whole shenanigans with ISL. I was like, you guys
similar. It was similar. But there's something to consider here. But so we can have some hard numbers and people understand this.
Yeah,
World Aquatics, depending on the time and the marketplace and where the market's at, is sitting on an endowment of somewhere between 190 and 250 million. That's just the nut that grows year over year. I think this year, these are rough numbers. I think this year they're going to do 117 million in revenue. Next year, 127. That rolls up to 147 million by 2028.
Sorry, Mel, this is World Aquatics?
World Aquatics. That's just their budget. That's what they're going to earn year over year. And that's kind of fixed because that's Olympic trickle down from the International Olympic Committee via television rights, sponsorship, and the entire Olympic ecosystem is the best it's ever been financially in history. $18 billion in rights and sponsorships, $1 billion in reserves. So there is money. It's the reason why USA Swimming made $50.1 million in 2024, the most they've ever made, and yet registration was flat and sponsorships were down. So the money's there. So I was dropping in this.
So that was my next question for you. Is you think those numbers you just shared with me for USA Swimming and World Aquatics, you think those are like, I don't know if business is that big. Are those on the upper end, or for how big both of those organizations are, do you think that's on the lower end?
No, those are pretty hard numbers. Those are real numbers. I'm not saying.
No, not the real number. I mean, like, is that actually a lot of money for how big World Aquatics is? 127 million.
My personal opinion is that it should be more, but I'm coming at it owning a private business, so I would run it very differently.
I think everybody would.
I think everybody would, but it is my opinion based on their financials that they have more money to compensate athletes. And that if they did that, I don't think that Enhanced Games would ever have any oxygen or light of day. It would just, they would go nowhere.
No, and that's the thing. They saw there was a huge gap of, this is something where we can fill that void and it'll be worth doing because the athletes aren't getting paid enough. And so that's how this whole thing started. And if World Aquatics and USA Swimming want to throw a fit, well, it's like, you got to look in the mirror at a certain point. This whole thing came about because you have people who can't live a comfortable life off of what you're paying them, being one of the best in the world. So like, they got to look in the mirror at a certain point, because you're right. I think you said it right there. This wouldn't exist at all.
Athlete partnership agreement, what national team members make, is less than the national average of an assistant coach at a swim club. So it's financially better off for an elite athlete to be an assistant coach at a average swim club somewhere in the United States than to be among the top athletes in the nation. That's what people need to understand.
Yeah, that makes me really sad. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew the APA wasn't a whole lot here. I hope I don't get fired after this.
Why would you get fired?
I don't know.
At least get fired.
Yeah.
No. Here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with advocating for yourself and advocating for your peers and advocating for more support. And so the 2010 number, it's like 38,400. That's about $28,000. Somebody can check me on that. And if you factor in inflation for current dollars, so it gets smaller because of inflation.
Yeah, I think if we're serious about growing the sport, my goals in this sport is to make it as accessible as possible and to make it as fast as possible. And I think with the latter that I said, if you want to make it fast, you can have names that can stay in the sport so much longer, or actually look at that as a career choice And I've been very fortunate, me and my family, very fortunate of how the sport has treated us and all my partnerships and sponsors. But what I'm looking at is the 12-year-old coming up that's a phenom that can actually see the sport as a way to make a career and a name and be a true part of the sport instead of just, no, you need 8 gold medals to make a name for yourself and to keep your family happy and to be able to pay the bills. That's ridiculous. Think about how many NFL, NBA, and I know swimming is below those and it won't ever create that much revenue, but how many, Charles Barkley, he's got 0 rings. Everyone knows his name. It's like there's so many stuff. Allen Iverson, that's another one. No rings. Everybody knows these guys' names just because who they were and how good. So imagine if they had that opportunity to actually prolong the career. And it starts with like money. I don't want to just talk money and be Mr. Krabs the whole time, but it does play a huge part. And if you're age 25 and you're not making money, well, I guess I'll go use my degree.
Are you still with Erica Wright?
Yeah.
Erica Wright's one of the best managers in the Olympic apparatus. If anybody doesn't know, she is. She's really great at what she does. She also represents Reagan Smith. I don't know who else she represents, but
just me and little sis Reagan. That's it. Or swimmers.
But yes, and she represents a lot of talent from a really, really wonderful family, really professional, great person. So to understand is that you've done well financially because of the personal business that has been created with Erica and opportunities that are outside of USA Swimming, but that you have a lot of medals. And someone who might just have a medal or 2 medals, people might think that they make money, but the truth is they don't get partnerships.
No.
By and large, they do not. No. And the revenue they get.
Especially recently, I don't know what the big names are doing right now, but no one can get sponsors. And that was one thing that was so intriguing and enticing about DeBoer for myself was they want to disrupt the same big 3 that's been there and it's gotten stale. And there's one of those in there that I don't think is the case. And I'm not going to say what, just out of respect for them. But there's one in there that I respect. And I think they do a really good job out of the big 3. And big 3, I mean arena, tier, speedo. Yeah. But DeBoer just wants to disrupt that, do something new, do something different, actually bring something to the sport. And I was like, hey, this sounds like too much fun to be able to leave behind. And then giving, I get full control over suit design and being able to use my logo that I created. And that was a big thing for me. I don't care if it was myself or Murph or anybody. There hasn't been that in the sport to bridge a gap between the untouchables, as people view it, of the Olympians and the age group kids. It's this like giant gap. And I think it's something as simple as you get to wear a suit with my logo on it. You get to feel like me. You get to, like this is the same thing Caeleb's wearing. The sport hasn't had that. And you have to think football has, you're wearing number 12 for Brady, or you're wearing a pair of Shaqnosis, feeling like Shaquille O'Neal, or you got a pair of Jordans on. There's a movie called Like Mike about the whole thing. I don't think swimming has had that. There's been a couple one-off, signature line that lasts for 3 weeks and that sells out. But that's something I'm excited about doing with DeBoer. Is like, I don't consider myself too different than the age group kids, especially mentally. And we're all in the sport trying to do the same stuff. We're trying to enjoy it, trying to figure it out, and we're trying to swim fast. And so I think something as simple as just bringing a personal flair to it to make the sport more accessible and to make it faster. I think there needs to be a smaller gap between that.
You're referencing DeBoer. I have to disclose this because DeBoer is a swim partner. I know they're your partner. This isn't a DeBoer commercial. This is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're absolutely, we're partners with DeBoer. They've entered the market. They've been around for a very long time, and now they're entering competitive swim.
Yeah, they were big in triathlon, very big in triathlon. And so this is something new, ambitious that they want to get into. So this is the infant stage, but it's been a lot of work, but a lot of fun so far. So we're getting it moving, and I'm very, very happy with where the suit's at.
So you're designing, you have your own design.
I got my grubby paws all over that bad boy. I literally every part, except I told them I don't know fabrics. Don't want to mess with fabrics, but I've been talking directly to, I'd probably say her name. Yeah, I'd probably find Nadia, the fabricator, direct notes to her, doing my terrible drawings, duct tape over the suit, photos, editing. This is what I want here, 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 and here. Names of it, styling. Because I've noticed with swimmers, not I've noticed, everybody knows this, and I'm one of them, but triathletes, they don't really care how they look, how silly. They'll buy anything, they'll eat it up. And so I've kind of had to, let the team know of like, swimmers really care about how they look. So I've put a lot of effort, a lot of pride into the styling, the colors, the name. So it's been a very, very fun process. No stress, honestly, on the suit design stuff. But yeah.
I haven't bought any athlete designed suit in like 20 years. Did it once.
Who was what?
I bought your suit. Black suit. The black suit with
the tattoo?
Yeah. I bought that.
Yeah.
I bought two of them.
Yeah.
I knew that I was fat when I bought it and I'd be skinnier. So I bought one that fit, and then I bought one that I could wear when I'd be 10 pounds lighter. It's a great suit. So when I wear a brief, I wear the Dressel suit.
Yeah, there's clearly a market for it, because anytime we would do that, Reagan and Murph, like, people would eat it up, because it's and now you've taken the sport and put it on a more personal, intimate level that people can relate to. It's as simple as wearing goggles or a practice suit or a tech suit. So yeah, that's why I spent so much time on creating my logo of what is representative of myself. I didn't want to do initials. Everybody does initials of what is representative of myself. When you look at that, this stands for, again, it's not me. If Murph was the one doing this, I'd be all for it. Or I just keep throwing out Murph's name because I love Murph, but I want to be more relatable to the younger age group, and then also make a really good quality product. Yeah, I text you some stuff off air of some previous sponsorships that yeah.
So we're not going to go there. We're not going that deep in the weeds. We can't.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk to you about that, because we started it on Enhanced Games and you meandered. And I had a funny feeling you might have more compassion for your peers who are like saying, hey, I'm going to do this. And we're seeing some big names do it, and it's clearly about the money.
Yeah. But they've said that. I think Christian was, after he broke the world record, he's like, I'm set. And he's right. Mm-hmm. So it's like it all comes back to the money. And these aren't, look, I've been racing Christian since my freshman year, since he beat me. I've been racing Ben for, 8+ years. Like, these are good guys. These are not greedy people, but there comes a point where, again, quality of life, you have to take that into account of your future family, like all that stuff. It's not just money. They're not snakes. It's not like an NBA player just switching teams because they paid them more. I don't think that's the case at all. And I'm not going to talk bad on Ben, not going to talk bad on Christian. I know the posts that they're putting up of, fastest in the world, whatever, they're required to do that. Like, I understand how this business works. I don't look at them any different. It makes me a little sad. I wish they didn't have to go and do the Enhanced Games. That's where I feel with it. But I'm not like, you guys are nasty and you're dopers. Well, they are dopers, but like, I'm not going to say anything bad about them, and I don't think anything different of them.
Kyle Chalmers recently was on social media. It was Australian media that they posted to social, but he was explaining that he broke a world record twice, once and then like 10 years later, and he made $10,000 each time.
God.
And
yeah, all of that money is like, it has to come from sponsors. Like because it fastest to ever do it. What was it? 100 free, and what else? What was Kyle? Do you break it again?
He broke the 100 free. He broke it twice. He said he was just, the media said he broke it. I can't remember which did.
Either way, if he broke it once or twice, is at 10,000 does.
It's a pop. Yeah,
that's a joke. That's a joke, dude. Golly. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to sleep at night. I'm not going to bed tonight. I'm gonna call up.
But he talked about the same thing, and he said, hey, it's, he said no. And that's not just the money, but they're making offers like annual salary and back, there's a lot more money involved. It's not just this prize money.
So maybe it's not, maybe I'm completely wrong and it won't fizzle out at all if they have that much backing behind it. I didn't know it was that much with those names behind it at all. So maybe not. Maybe they'll keep building and building. And I think, the sweet spot is 6-7 years. If they're established by then might see it. And they might have different parameters around it where they call it something different, and it could turn into a competitor to World Aquatics.
We'll see. We don't know yet, but my better judgment tells me they're going to have legs, because it's a company with a built-in, they're selling a product, and it's and that is a very big thing. And for it's a very big market now, which is the enhanced protocol for people who are entering middle age. And you're watching the greatest athletes in the world use certain drugs.
So they release what drugs they take?
Well, right now, it's just, and if you go to their website, you can actually click into and buy testosterone. That same kind of testosterone that's the Secretary of Health, Robert Kennedy Jr., uses as a therapy.
Is it like good quality? Like, is it like you're buying Enhanced Games branded testosterone, or it's just a brand that they've like partnered with?
I don't know, but I know that therapy's been around it's been around for over 50 years. And I just know that more people are doing it. This is a whole other podcast, a conversation on this. But it's like, women go into menopause and they'll use hormones to alleviate those symptoms.
Yeah.
And men kind of taper off over time. Women go through menopause and just fall off a cliff. But men do similar hormone replacement therapy, like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who said, "Yeah, I do this because it's a therapy."
Yeah.
But I think
I didn't know that side of it, or that was the main nugget that they're going for. I mean, I can't be opposed to that. Like
it's not explicit. It's a lot of people that I've spoken to in the industry, they think that's what it's about. And
the sports is kind of the buy-in to catch your eye and be like, oh, he's just about, yeah.
They're doing it with doctors, and they're in the lab. It's about being enhanced. So I think they're going to sell, you can be enhanced, but we'll see. We're in the beginning of this. We don't know entirely what everything is about, but my better judgment says if they're financed enough, this will continue to go on. Anyway, that's a conversation we'll come back to, Linda.
Yeah. I think we need to, just because I'm interested in the sense of, not that I'm going to do it, but of like, I can't, like, I would like for people to live longer, healthier lives. And I guess I'm opposed to how they're drawing into that, but it's not a bad idea. That's going to be eye-catching if you're watching someone juiced up, breaking world records. Yeah, I'm going to watch.
We don't know. We don't know what that it's. They're going to have a whole lot of data to prove that.
Yeah.
But it's possible. So if you can, the idea is if you can stay healthy and stave off disease as you get older, you will live longer. But again, that's where it's a little bit of speculation on our part. Everyone I've spoken to thinks that's the marketplace and that's what they're going for. Additionally, what I do find interesting, I can't get off this topic. What I do find interesting is it's 2027, 2028, you're deep into this new training that you're doing. And you're like, I see how fast these guys are going to the Enhanced Games. I don't have to dope, but I'll be in the Enhanced Games and I'll suit up. They could get a lot of people to suit up and race. That would go fast.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you'd have probably three or four guys under the 50 world record.
Yes. Yeah. The whole thing of like, can you suit up? And then will suit companies?
I was like, because the ones they're using are just being brought out of storage. They're having to dust them off.
They're on like this hunt to find the suits, and like they're gold.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If you're a suit company or you're a small brand and you want to be in this marketplace, you can design a suit. It's almost like a Formula One car.
Yeah.
You're designing a Formula One car that is where it's legal to just go for it. And
no regulations. Yeah. Yeah. The suit, the rubber games. Oh, well, that doesn't sound right.
Rubber games doesn't sound right, but you know what I'm talking about. You don't have, here's the thing. You can participate. You don't have to dope, but you might be in technology that nobody else has.
That'd be sick.
I'm team super rubber. No.
Yeah, I'd do that. 100% I would do that. That sounds so fun.
So it's like, we don't know. So we don't know where we're going to land next year or the year after. And I'm sure that this is something that they're considering internally. But let's stick a pin in that. We'll come back to it, because I did like the fact that as an elite, your reaction was more compassion and less judgment than and I haven't heard that from anybody. I haven't heard harsh judgment from anyone.
Oh, I was like, there's no way I'm the first one to. Yeah, dude, that's it. The more, if you go on their Instagram, the more that you're, commenting and saying, it's only growing what they're doing. If you pay no attention to it, it'll fizzle. But this is exactly what they want. They want the controversy. They want the spotlight. So anytime you comment or do this or that, like, it's just making it bigger and bigger. And I mean, you know me, I stay out of stuff as much as I can, and I barely know about, half. I think a lot of the stuff on the podcast you've told to me is brand new news to me, which is great. I thought I operate better that way.
You're just living life on the farm.
living life, man. I'm too busy. I'm too busy chilling, dude.
All right, look, then we'll see how much you've been chilling on the farm. Have you paid attention to the changes for the NCAA championship?
No, that was one thing I heard you say. I was like, I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay, I'm going to refresh you. This is what you need to know. College Swimming Coach Association of America. I did a podcast with the executive director, Sam Barney, and she wasn't unilaterally making these decisions. She's working with committees, working with the NCAA, but they know that college swimming is under threat. It's in peril. They want it to be a better finals, a better championship meet. And the idea was we need to make this more telegenic. We need to make this broadcast ready. They spoke to their broadcast shareholders.
Go on.
They spoke to ESPN, and they finally arrived at their changes, and here are the changes. This is just for broadcast. They're not swimming B finals at the finals. They're gonna score so you score B finals off prelims, and then finals at night is just final.
Okay, this might be super controversial. Why is there a B final? What are we doing?
A lot of people, you're against the grain. A lot of people are really, really, really upset that they're not swimming B finals at night. They're
No. So here's my thing. Who has the fastest swimmers? And then like I feel like when you add the C final, as I feel like it just turns into like who has the most average,
the most swim.
And I not that if you make a B or C final, you okay. Gosh, I'm just trying to get myself in trouble. But you're on the A final, so you're below average from the A final. Yeah, track and field at their NCAA is A final only. I love that idea. I think that's how it should be. Here's the 8 guys competing for who's the best in the country. I don't think there should be a B final at all. So if they want to, I think that's a good way around it. If people still want the B final, then so it'd be whoever scores 9th through 16th, they still get the points, but they don't get to swim at night.
It's scored. It's prelim. So I guess it's like time. You get 9th to 16th. That's the 9th to 16th and prelims. That's the score in the final.
Got it.
So those are the points you arrive with at finals. And then you run final.
I think that's a good. If people really want the B final, I actually think that's extremely fair. What is people reasoning for keeping the B final?
A lot of people just think that they wanted the B final at night. It's change. You make any change, people get upset. And the argument is, is ESPN really going to roll off a better broadcast with just A finals for all of the final session? And hey, why couldn't we move diving around? Or why couldn't we run the B finals during commercials? They didn't want to lose the B finals. And a lot of people were very upset about that.
I'm all for losing the B finals, to be honest. Yeah, here's the top 8 fastest guys in the country. Have them go race. Now, who's the fastest in the country? Those teams get their points.
There were some other options that they, in the process of arriving at no B finals swung in the final session.
Okay.
And that was, hey, should we run the B finals before the final or before finals or after finals? So you run it later. And coaches,
and they really want these B finals.
And the executive director of the College Swimming Coach Association said, based on feedback, that college coaches were at NCAA championships were just wrung out, exhausted, and the idea of going back and forth to the pool that many times, it was just it was too stressful. And if you've seen how stressful an NCAA championship is, particularly on a coach, on a team, that made sense to me.
Yeah, no, I'm glad they took the officials into consideration. I mean, dude, I can't remember what year it was, but I was on deck with the UF coaches. Oh my God, I was exhausted.
Yeah.
I stunk. I was sweaty. The legs hurt. I was like, put me in the meat. This is way worse.
There's some other changes. The other changes are qualification. There's the qualification. And this benefits mid-major schools. If you win at conference, you automatically go to NCAA. You automatically get a shot at the NCAA championships.
Oh, individual, not the whole team.
Correct.
What do you mean by a mid-major school?
So smaller conferences, if you're a conference champion, you've got your cut, you're going to NC2As. It's automatic. You're automatic in. And because of that, we're going to Power 4 might be a deeper team.
Yeah.
You'll leave some faster swimmers at home because.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Swimming some meritocracy. So the idea of leaving faster swimmers at home because they get these slower coaches get automatic in. That's got people upset too.
I mean, that's going to last a year, and then guys are going to be showing up that are going to be 20 seconds behind in the 500. I really don't like that one.
Totally. Yeah, I didn't.
Why? Well, what's the point of that one?
The point of it is we're losing colleges across the country, and it does help a school if they're qualifying NCAA athletes. And
how does it help? If
the swimming team is on the chopping block, they're looking at it and they're going, okay, look, our swimming team is qualifying swimmers to go to NCAA championships, D1 championships.
Yeah, by default. Like, I don't see that. Like, I don't want to get myself in hot water because it's like, well, if it could help out the teams and the team doesn't have to go under, then yeah. But do you really think the administration is going to be like, hey, we sent a guy to NCAAs. Oh, we'll keep. But he got last place. Like, yeah, I don't like that one. I don't like it. I don't like anything you're saying right now.
And so now you don't like the B final.
No, that's why I did like the B final, but yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Keep going.
There's a lineup change, and since you don't know what it is, and I did refresh right before the podcast, the scheduling changes are that they've changed the schedule around, and they've done it so that we're loading more exciting events as we get deeper into the 3-day competition. And the idea is that can we keep viewership, because that was the entire idea for
what are you exciting.
And I don't have the lineup in front of me. The scheduling changes, Todd DeSorbo, head coach at UVA, they're dominant, and he's commenting on it. He said, "Yeah, we might have to change some things around, but he's okay with it."
What does he mean change some things around?
Well, the schedule has changed for the 3-day lineup. I don't have it in front of me. Would you like for him to look it up?
Yeah, but what do you mean? Todd would have to change like what around with the lineup?
Oh, he said it'll affect some athletes, but not all athletes.
Oh, okay.
They might have to swim some different events or focus in different areas. But
yeah. I mean, I don't know how to feel about that one. I think I'm okay with it, but is that going to turn into, like, if you're a sprinter, would I have had to have swum 100 fly, 100 free, 50 free on the last day with the 200 free relay? Like,
well, I think it was 100. There's 100 fly, 100 back on the same day, right? I think they changed that around. I have to check it, because there was at one point where 100 fly and 100 back were the same event, because we used to do the entire 100 backstroke underwater dolphin.
You're not that old. You knock it off.
We used to swim the entire 100 back. When I went to NC2As, I swam 100 back. All of it was underwater.
And what'd you go, 39?
No, I went to 47, but we had to touch the wall when we flip turned.
Ooh. All right, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with that, actually. Oh, you had to touch it on your back, and then, what you got?
I lost to Catherine Burkhoff's father, David Burkhoff. And I was certain I'd beat him because he's smaller than I am. I was like, I'm going to beat this guy.
That was your gauge?
My gauge was that he was smaller and I could crush him. I love him. We share an Olympic gold medal in the 4x1 relay. And I love David, but at NC2As, I was just going to crush him, and I lost.
By a little guy.
I was sitting there watching, like underwater, watching him.
Yeah, just spamming. Oh, dude, that would be so demoralizing if you just watch it. Like, if you're swimming the whole thing underwater and you
just watching him ahead. It's like, how is this guy staying ahead of me? I hate this. It was more like that realization that, wow, he's better at this than I am.
Mid-race? Yeah.
Like that thing that happens in your brain where you're like, I'm not going to catch him. This is not going to happen for me. And your ego goes like this.
While you're holding your breath too, you're just so sad and out of oxygen. Yeah, that's tough, dude. That's tough.
It's bad. So I wish that you were more up to date on NC2A championships, because I was hoping you would know about the schedule. But I appreciate you for your own mental health. Good for you. You're focused on the farm.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, focus on the farm. Yeah, get rid of the B final. If I were on the board, get rid of the B final. Who has the fastest guy? I can't get off. You couldn't get off enhanced games. This is something I've been holding in forever. And then what was the second one you said? Oh, the conference thing. That's not gonna last. That's not gonna last, because then you're gonna have rosters that are super deep, and guys are just gonna be getting left off because some guy got. I don't like it.
It's going to be painful. It's going to be. We'll see how it turns out. And we didn't have any guarantees from ESPN in terms of their production and if they were going to bring more production value to the NCAA championships. But
because college football, they do, if you win. This is only for Power 4 though. If you win conference, ACC, SEC, Pac-12 is gone, Big Ten, and who am I missing? From the big? Oh,
ACC.
No, ACC, SEC, Big Ten. This is embarrassing. Hold on, dude. because Pac-12 is. Hold on, this is ridiculous.
We have to this and cut it so we look like we're way smarter than we are.
Yeah, that's crazy. Do I keep up with college football? Let's see. Big 10, ACC. Oh, Big 12 is still a thing?
It's still a thing. Don't poo-poo the Big 12.
I'll poo-poo Big 12. Big 10, SEC, Big 12, ACC. Okay. Yeah. So if you win your conference in one of the group of fives, you don't get in. They only focus on the Power 5 or Power 4 now. Yeah, I don't like that one bit. Well,
this is what I'm thinking. I can't clip out your B final quote because if I clip out the B final quote, the internet's gonna explode. And
you can leave the B final, dude. I don't go on. So here's what my gauge is. So when Megan told me, "Hey, you started a riot online," I was like, "Well," and actually, my little sister texted me too. My thing is, if I did something that was that bad, please text me. If you don't have my number, it means I don't know you well enough to where your opinion matters. And then if I didn't hear anything if I didn't get in trouble from my mom, then I didn't do anything wrong. So I'm fine, dude. I'm totally fine.
You're totally fine.
Yeah. So if I said that comment of I think the B final should be gone, and my mom called me, then I will text you. But
people are gonna have to listen to the full deep. They have to go deep into the cosmos of this podcast and listen to the end to hear your opinion on B finals. I'm gonna make them work for it.
Please do, because either that means they really like me or they really don't. They're trying to find some type of dirt, and there's your dirt. Get rid of the B final.
Wow, I appreciate the firm stand.
I do. Ever since I found out that track does A final only, it just makes so much sense. Here's your fastest guys. Now who's the best?
Have you paid attention to the World Cup that's been swinging?
Of course.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, right before we came on, there were 2 world records.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you'd work with a guy.
No.
Josh Leando, Hunter Fly, 47.68.
What? Oh, that was mine.
You know what? I don't know. I have to look it up.
It was. I think he went 47.6. Okay, let's say yes. I think I went 47.78. No, that got broke. It wasn't mine. It got broke by
these short course records.
Ponte broke it, and so Josh broke that.
That's right. He did. That's right. He did own it for a hot minute.
I don't have any short meters. Do I just have? Do I have long meters under fly?
Yes, you do.
I'm not even kidding. I think I do. I knew Alexi broke AR in 100 free. That was awesome. Beautiful swim. And consistently going under 47. I told him, I said, that was one of the hardest swims that, like the mental barrier, that was tougher than 18, 50 free. That 47.0 100 free was one of the toughest mental barriers. And I only did it once. And I think he's done it like 3 times, something, 2 or 3. Yeah.
40, 49, 45 is still stands. You still have your piece of history.
Nice, dude. Still got it.
You can.
Oh, so it's just that and then 100 IM. Do I still have 100 IM? I don't care that much. You don't have to look it up. I think I have that one. I still don't look it up. I don't care.
And Leon Marchand just went 145 in the 200 IM.
Whoa. Did he smash it? What was it, like 147 before?
You're asking hard questions. Yes, he did. I don't think anybody went that. I mean, yes, I think that was a smash.
Lochte had it, yeah?
I will look it up right now because it's kind of ridiculous.
You got to get like Rogan has Jamie. You got to get a Jamie when we do podcasts together because I always have questions.
I normally have a Coleman.
Yeah. The heck, Coleman?
Coleman's working tonight on the World Cup.
Well, he should have texted you the times, dude.
We just started. This is the only time you could talk to me. You're always busy on the farm.
This is my when I'm here in Jax training, Monday night, Thursday night are my like training and work. So when I'm home, nothing.
How long is the commute?
About 2 hours. But
that's a lot.
It is, but just set up for privacy and safety for Megan. I'm not going to say how often I'm doing it or what that looks like, but I will say the schedule that we developed between Megan and Steve is perfect. I'm home more hours of the day than I was training with UF.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. So I've been very excited about it.
All right. Well, I mean, I got your real vertical leap. I know what you deadlift. I know how you feel. I know how you feel about B finals.
You squeezed out. You got me to say something controversial. You got me to talk about enhanced games. Say my vert. How much I deadlift. This is insane, dude. This is covered information you got.
We take this podcast and we just cut it down to like 2 minutes. This clip.
It just says 40 inches, 600. B final stinks. Yeah, and that's the whole interview.
How would you title this? How would you title this podcast? This is how I would title it. Dressel vertically 40 inches, hates B finals, deadlift 610.
You can do, we can do sitting down with B final Caeleb. That'd be great, dude. No, don't do that. I'm gonna leave that one up to you because I have no idea what we could title. There's too much we went through.
If you'd never said anything about your mustache at the beginning of this podcast, I don't think anybody would see it on camera.
Don't say that. Don't say that to me. Don't do that, dude. That's so mean. You're gonna get nasty. I gave you all this time. You're gonna get nasty on me. Come on, dude. They're gonna be like, "Oh my god, is that Miles Teller?" Well, that's exactly what they're gonna do, dude. They go, "Oh, that's Miles Teller from Top Gun." That's me, dude. That's what I'm going for.
I like that. Next time I see you, I want to see a mustache. It's so big. It's just like this.
It won't. This is like, it looks the same whether it's like I don't shave for 5 days or 5 years. It'll still look like this.
You don't have to. You could have just said I could do that. I'm just not going to.
Megan just really doesn't like it. Again, this was as a joke because I was scruffy. I was like, the classic dad move, walk out with the stupid mustache, and then I just kind of haven't taken care of it since then.
Okay. Well, I've got to have some dinner with my wife, or it's I'm hungry. Just shut it down.
What is that? Oh, is she telling you to hurry up?
she just said, "Hey, how am I going to talk to Caeleb?"
Oh no, dude, this is so. Actually, what's funny is Steve came in and just dropped off dinner for me. You didn't see him, so we're both all right. Let's go eat. Always a pleasure, Mel. Appreciate you. You're really fun to talk to. I don't even think of this as interviews anymore. Yeah, you get it, and I think that was great. I don't think I have anything I said where I won't be able to sleep at night. Just the stuff you said about some of the funding issues, but no, I'll be able to sleep through my V final comment. If you made a B final, I love you. If you made a C final, I love you. I have to say this. I love you so much. You make a B final. I love you so much. You make a C final. D. All the way to Z. I love you. I think you should be at NC2As. There we go. I'm still dying on this hill, dude. I just want to look. I want to make sure people don't.
You will be if the NC2A championships are exciting, then a lot of people will be on board with you. But we won't know that until end of March.
You want to know what I think that they should do? This is a serious comment. I think if you want viewership, you change. Ooh, this is controversial. You'll love this. You should change NC2As to short course meters because then you're having guys breaking world records. It's more appeal on an international stage. The Europeans will actually understand what's going on. There's actually more swimming involved instead of, it has turned into who's the more athletic and who has better underwaters. That's a fact. I don't think there's anything controversial about that. But yeah, I think you should change it to short meters, which they used to do on Olympic years back in the day. How sick would that be? You got a college kid breaking a world record or a college team breaking a relay world record. If you want viewership, that's how you get it done.
I think everything should be 25 meters. Only 25 meters always.
I think that would make sense for the Olympics as well.
I want the Olympics at 25 meters.
I think you have to think it's less money to run the pool. You can pack more people around a smaller size pool. It's more exciting. Yeah, 4x50 relays. I agree. I can stand by that.
I think that you should be the CEO of swimming and the Olympics, and I'll be your second, and we will make that happen.
Deal. That'll be our next adventure. Go. Hold on.
That's weird. I wonder why that happened. Hey, hang on a second. Let's see how this looks.
Wait. Hey. Oh, wait. Now it's just, there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Toby.
So here's the thing.
Toby, I have my sister's daughter with me. Toby, come here. He's on the couch. Someone else's house, but
that's all right.
Don't mind me.
That's the blooper.
I forgot I still had this. Dang it. I did it as a joke and I forgot to shave it. No, it's perfect. It's honestly good.
This is all good. This is all good. I'm using all of this.
Please.
Stop it. Leaving clothes and let me see. Look at this, Bobby. Look at this. Oh, wow. What do you got going on there?
I'm going for, you ever seen Top Gun Maverick, dude?
Yeah.
I am Miles Teller, dude. This has been going on for 3 minutes.
This is a BS open. This is a fake open.
Don't edit anything, dude.